So we'll be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, fifth chapter. Fifth canto, fifth chapter, first verse. Okay. So today we'll read this verse. We'll try to discuss on this verse. Yeah. Before that, we'll go to the prayers. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुमितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं सग्रजातां सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं स्वजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदां सगण ललिता श्रीविशाखावितांश हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हर ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्वा नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतं सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदन च नंदन नंद गोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजाग्रहे। नमो महावदल्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिशे नमः। नमो ब्राह्मण देवाय गो ब्राह्मण हिताय च जगद्दिताय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पद्मनाभं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं। Yeah, yeah. Let's read this verse, fifth canto, fifth chapter, first verse. It is actually it is the teachings of it is teachings of the Rishabh Dev to his sons. Actually, it's about the chapter entitled "Teachings of Rishabh Dev to his sons." So this is the fifth canto, fifth chapter, first verse. Rishabho vacha Nayam deha deha bhajam nirloke Kastal kamal arhate vidbhujam ye. Tapo divyam putrakayena sattvam shuddhed yasmad brahma saukyam tva anantam. Rishabho uvacha layam deho deha bhajam riloke kashtal kamal harate vidbhujam. Tapo divyam putrakayela sattvam शुद्ध्येद यस्माद् ब्रह्म सौख्यं त्वनन्तं ऋषभो उवाच नयं देहो देहाभाजं प्रलोके कष्टान् कामान् हरते विद्भुजं ये तपो दिव्यं पुत्रयेन सत्त्वां शुद्धेत् यस्मात् ब्रह्मसौख्यं त्वनन्तं ऋषभो उवाच लयं देहादेहभाजं निलोके कष्टान् कामान् हरते विद्भुजं ये तपो दिव्यं पुत्रकायेन सत्त्वं शुद्ध्येत् यस्माद् ब्रह्मसौख्यं त्वनन्तम्. Yeah, anybody likes to recite Hare Krishna?
Yes, Prabhu. Is it shared, Prabhu? Screen is
Yeah.
shared.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Not seeing, Prabhu. I don't know if I am facing it or others too.
No, he's not sharing, Prabhu. Yeah.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Yeah. Yeah. I'll just repeat once again. Rishabho Vacha. You can see right now, right, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu. Now I am able to see it, Prabhu.
Yeah. Rishabho Vacha. Layam deho deha bhajam rirloke kastan kamal arate vidbhujam ye tapo divyam putraka yela sattvam shuddhyet yasmad brahma saukyam tvalantam rishabho vacha layam deham bhajam rirloke कष्टाल कामाल अरते विद्भुजं ये तपो दिव्यं पुत्रका ये लसत्वं शुद्ध्येत् यद् यस्मात् ब्रह्म सौख्यं त्वनन्तम्. Yes, Prabhuji, please repeat.
Rishabha Uvacha. Nayam deho deha bhajam nraloke. Kashtan kaman arhate vid bhujam ye. Tapo divyan putraka yena sattvam. Sudyed yasmad brahma saukhyam tva anantam.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, anybody wants to recite?
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Velala Mataji.
ऋषभोवाच नायं देहो देहभाजं नृलोके कष्टान् कामान् अर्थते भुजं ये तपो दिव्यं पुत्रकायेन सुदयद् यस्मात् ब्रह्म सौख्यं त्वानन्तम्. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, what word meaning are synonyms? Rishabha Vacha. Lord Rishadev said, La, not I am this Deha body, Deha Bhaja, all of all living entities who have accepted material bodies. Raloke in this world, Kastan, troublesome, Kamal, sense gratification, Harhate, deserves, Vitbujam, as 2 liters, Ye, which, Tapa, austerities, and penances, Divyam, divine, Putraka, my dear sons, Yela, by which Sattvam, the heart, Shuddhyat, becomes purified, Yasmat, from which Brahma Saukyam, spiritual happiness, two, certainly, Anantam, unending. Translation. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Lord Rishadev told his sons, my dear boys, of all the living entities who have accepted material bodies in this world, one, one who has been awarded this human form should not work hard day and night simply for the sense gratification, which is available even for the dogs and hogs that eat stool. One should engage in penance and austerity to attain the divine position of devotional service. By such activity, one's heart is purified and one attains the position. He attains this position. He attains eternally blissful life, which is transcendental to material happiness and which continues forever. Yeah. Anybody would like to read the purport first para?
Can I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, please.
Thank you, Prabhu. In this verse, Lord Rishabhadeva tells his sons about the importance of human life. The word Deha Bhag refers to anyone who accepts a material body. But the living entity who is awarded the human form must act differently from animals. Animals like dogs and hogs enjoy sense gratification by eating stool. After undergoing severe hardships all day, human beings are trying to enjoy themselves at night by eating, drinking, having sex, and sleeping. At the same time, they have to properly defend themselves. However, this is not human civilization. Human life means voluntarily practicing suffering for the advancement of spiritual life. There is, of course, suffering in the lives of animals and plants, which are suffering due to their past misdeeds. However, human beings should voluntarily accept suffering in the form of austerities and penances in order to attain the divine life. After attaining the divine life, one can enjoy happiness eternally. After all, every living entity is trying to enjoy happiness. But as long as one is engaged in the material body, he has to suffer different kinds of misery. A higher sense is present in the human form. We should act according to superior advice in order to attain eternal happiness and go back to Godhead.
Yeah. Somebody can read second paragraph.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I'll try Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, please.
It is significant in this verse that the government and the natural guardian, the father, should educate subordinates and raise them to Krishna consciousness. Devoid of Krishna consciousness, every living being suffers in this cycle of birth and death perpetually. To relieve them from this bondage and enable them to become blissful and happy, Bhakti Yoga should be taught. A foolish civilization neglects to teach people how to rise to the platform of Bhakti Yoga. Without Krishna consciousness, a person is no better than a hog or dog. The instructions of Rishabhadeva are very essential at the present moment. People are being educated and trained to work very hard for sense gratification, and there is no sublime aim in life. A man travels to earn his livelihood, leaving home early in the morning, catching a local train, and being packed in a compartment. He has to stand for an hour or two in order to reach his place of business. Then again, he takes a bus to get to the office. At the office, he works hard from 9 to 5. Then he takes 2 or 3 hours to return home. After eating, he has sex and goes to sleep. For all this hardship, his only happiness is a little sex. Yan Maithunadi Grihamedi Sukham hi Tucham. Rishabhadeva clearly states that human life is not meant for this kind of existence, which is enjoyed even by dogs and hogs. Indeed, dogs and hogs do not have to work so hard for sex. A human being should try to live in a different way and should not try to imitate dogs and hogs. The alternative is mentioned. Human life is meant for tapasya, austerity, and penance. By tapasya, one can get out of the material clutches. When one is situated in Krishna consciousness, devotional service, his happiness is guaranteed eternally. By taking to Bhakti Yoga, devotional service, One's existence is purified. The living entity is seeking happiness life after life, but he can make a solution to all his problems simply by practicing Bhakti Yoga. Then he immediately becomes eligible to return home back to Godhead, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Shloka 4.9. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha tektva deham punarjanma naitimam eti so Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah. So, yeah, here, yeah, here the context of this verse actually, yeah, the context of this chapter and verse is actually Lord Rishadev is actually teaching his 100 sons. Okay, 100 sons. He's comparing the human life with the hog, right? With he's comparing human life with the animals. He is comparing with hogs and dogs and all. Yeah. So sense gratification is available. The point Prabhupada is making, and the Rishabhadev and Prabhupada is making, is sense gratification is available even for the animals, right? It's available for animals. So human life is not for that actually. So it's for the higher sense actually, that is being explained in this purport and the purport and verse, right? In the translation and purport, right? And sufferings are mainly because of the actually because of the misdeeds, or somebody voluntarily wants sufferings, like if we voluntarily wants sufferings in the kind of by the way of austerities and penances, where austerities and penances are the voluntary sufferings. These, when we take up voluntary sufferings, we will become purified and we attain higher happiness, right? Higher happiness, maybe going back to the Godhead, maybe attaining the other planets as well. Okay, there could be two kinds of happiness. There could be two kinds of destiny. Like we may go to the higher planets and have be happy there, or we can go back to the Godhead. So when we do austerities and penances, tapasya, right? Tapo, as mentioned in this verse, we attain that higher happiness and all. So the purpose of the human life is actually, as Prabhupada is saying in this in the in the purport, that he is to take the advice from the superiors, right? It is to take the advice from the superiors and go back home Godhead actually. So, and also Prabhupada is comparing the education, right? Whatever the education been given, right? Whatever the education is taught, it is only to earn our livelihood, or to just to earn our livelihood, and right, and do some grey things to and all. So every government and father, every father has a responsibility, right? Father, government should take the responsibility to give or teach bhakti yoga, bhakti yoga to his sons or citizens, right? So that kind of a responsibility should be taken by the father or the government to teach the citizens or their sons actually, so that they perfect their lives and all. So also here Prabhupada is comparing the hardships actually, right? Kastakamal, Kastakamal, the word being used, right? But Kastakamal, that we are working so hard day and night, right? traveling in the trains, local trains, going to workplace to earn our livelihood. So day and night we are just working hard only to self gratify, not to achieve the not to understand and to achieve the higher purpose of the life, right? So that is what being mentioned. So tapasya, austerities are to be done actually to come out of these clutches of material world, right? So what we attain, what we get while doing this austerity tapasya, we get eternal happiness, not the temporary happiness. We get the eternal happiness, right? So so being in Krishna consciousness or performing the devotional services, right? That kind of activities will give us real happiness. So that is what. So here Rishabhadev, the word lirloke is being used, right? Here the word lirloke is being used, where Rishabhadev is is giving the instruction to the cell, right? Giving instructions to his cell. That means is giving instruction to all humanity. Is not only giving instructions to his 100 cells, right? Is giving the instructions to all the humanity actually. So the human life is considered to be the highest, right? Is the highest. So that's why we give the education, we give right kind of civilization to the human life. We all request, request many people by sending in the groups, right, to join in this Bhagavatam, right? We request everybody to join in this Bhagavatam. Yes, or the Lilananda Prabhu, Pravil Prabhu, Subhara Prabhu, all created these groups, and they are doing the services, right? To give right kind of education, to give this Bhagavatam, right? This Bhagavatam to whole humanity, so, right? So Prabhupada also says that. So this we are inviting everybody, right? Here Rishabhadev also is speaking to the human society actually, and is not speaking to the dogs and cats, right? He's speaking to human society, because human society because the living entity, human beings, has the higher purpose. That's why he's speaking to the human society, not the dogs and cats. That's why we also invite many of the people, right? Many of the devotees are we send the messages in the various groups, right? Various Bhakti Vriksha groups, right? To invite them to give this message, to tell about this program, right? About this program, and give the teachings what Rishabh Dev or Srila Prabhupada has given, so that they can understand the higher purpose of human life, right? So that is what. So this program is actually to insist others to understand the higher purpose of the life, right? So that is what. That is what is and the word again, apart from this, the kasta kamal is being used, right? The kasta kamal is well. Prabhupada explains that uh, we are working so hard. We are doing working tiresome jobs. All right, we are involving all kinds of dangerous activities or laborsome activities, right? Just to self gratify, right? Just to self gratify. We are working very hard day and night, right? Just to earn our livelihood, right? But it's not stopping there actually, but we are using those resources actually to self gratify ourselves, right? So but there are very easy means to achieve, easy means to live actually comfortably, and to live the purposeful life and all. Prabhupada in his lectures actually gives example of to his devotees. He gives the example of Liu Brindaval in West Virginia. So he says that with Krishna's mercy, we have so much of land, so that we can uh, just cultivate cultivate this land, and we can grow all vegetables, so much of vegetables, so that we can consume, we can eat for ourselves, we can distribute. So that much land we have. So so we have the land, we have the education, right? We have the farming experience, right? We have the cow. So no need to work hard, actually, no need to work hard, right? Just to we have to do some kind of do some kind of services. We can earn, or we can get whatever fruits, vegetables from those farms. There is no need to actually work day and night, right? And just forget the higher sense of life, or the purpose of the human life and all. So that is what. So day and night working is prohibited, right? just uh, just we can just work in the farm and all, like Leelanand Prabhu. It's difficult, actually, to come back and work again after working for so many years in the software, or in the cities. Leelanand Prabhu is doing so much of the Go Seva, right? Go Seva, and working in the farms and all. It's very difficult, actually. So such kind of work, actually, Prabhupada is prescribing here. So he is not prescribing us to work hard day and night, right? So also Prabhupada gives example in one of the lectures. Prabhupada gives the example of a child, right? Just tell a father gives some instructions to child, right? If he tells his child to eat, if he eat in proper time, and work, right, work according to him, then if he just eat in proper time and work as guided by his father, then the father himself will be happy, right? There is no need to work hard, actually, right? So if but this cell, if he steals from the pocket of, or the from the cash box of the father, he will not be happy, right? He will not be happy. But just following the instruction of his father, right? And like eating in the right time, and doing some work as prescribed by his father, that gives happiness to himself and his father. So 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 we should understand this world is actually everything is complete, actually. So like that like Krishna says, right? uh, right, yeah, Krishna says that everything is complete, actually, right? Purna idam purna purna idam purna daya purna idam. This verse where everything is complete, Krishna is saying is everything is complete. So there is no scarcity, actually. There is no scarcity. So everything is complete, and everything is being given by the Lord. So there is no scarcity. If something is scarce, it's because of our mismanagement. But there is low scarcity. So we can just follow these scriptures, or follow the injections or the laws given in the scriptures, and try to be happily, live happy, and attain the purpose of the life, right? So that is what being said, right? Yeah. So yeah, just let's move on. So 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 next the here, so we should not satisfy our senses. We should try to do some activities which is being prescribed as scriptures, right? Scriptures, and just try to work smartly and try to attain the higher purpose of life, right? Then it is mentioned after Kastal Kamal. We have discussed about this. Then Vidbujam, right? We have been Vidbujam. Vid is the stool eating animals, like a hog has been mentioned here, right? This hog so is working is actually hog is trying to self gratify, just eating the stool, right? So hog, the work of a hog is to search, it searches for the stool or research for the stool, right? Prabhupada says that even hog do research for the stool and all, right? So it is also self gratifying, by its own means actually. So we are also trying to search. We are to search. We are also trying very hard, right? And we are trying very hard, but as a hog. But even Prabhupada says that the hog, these animals, they do not want. There is no need to work them hard. They get the food. Uh, they get food or sex, whatever they want. Whatever they want. They did not work hard also, right? But humans, they have to work hard, right? But still we have to understand that that is not our purpose actually. That is not our higher purpose. So here Vidbhujam, right? Here the Prabhupada is comparing the animals, the humans with the animals, the stool eating animals, hog, right? Hog and all. So even the food or the stool which the hog eats are the monkeys, the hogs and dogs, right? The monkeys, they try to have sex without any discrimination of mother, sister and all. So food, sex, everything are readily available for them. They need not work hard, but human beings has to do kastakamal, but still they are not understanding the real higher purpose of the life, right? Further, further, the tapo divyam is tapo divyam. So tapo, tapasya is being prescribed by the Rishabhadev to his sons actually, right? So tapo divyam. So tapasya, we have to restrain our senses, right? We have to restrain our senses. So that is what this civilization means, or the advancement is means. That is what it is built actually. We advance when we try to restrain our senses, right? Right. Prabhupada gives the example. Prabhupada gives the example of their of their devotees actually, right? With his instruction, many of them stopped eating meat, right? Eating meat, or they stopped smoking, right? Those and all. So they could do the tapasya, or they could restrain the senses. It was actually painful for them, right? Still painful. So voluntarily, tapasya is voluntarily accepting the voluntarily accepting the are voluntarily restraining actually the senses. So voluntarily they are accepting some inconveniences, right? So they are restricting themselves from this self gratification. So with the instruction of their spiritual master, they could restrain their senses. They could undergo the pain, right? They could undergo the pain and stop meat eating and the smoking and all. So Prabhupada explains that there is plenty of food. There is plenty of food, plenty of rice, pulses, grains, milk, right? Plenty of things to eat and all, right? So it's no need in America to everything is plenty. So there is no need of eating meat and all, right? There is no need of killing the same cow which is giving the milk and eating that. right? So there is no absolutely low necessity of meat eating. So here they are just trying to self gratify by eating meat, right? Eating meat and smoking, which is not prescribed, or which is not absolutely not necessary, right? Such kind of tapasya, right? Tapo is the temperature, or the tapo is austerities. That's kind of voluntarily austerities which are penances can be done, right? To why it should be done? It should be done to to achieve the higher purpose, right? That is what, to achieve the higher purpose and all. So Prabhupada also gives the example of a student. Actually, student or somebody who is doing research. They do research on the nuclear weapons and all, right? They do a lot of research on the nuclear weapons. The nuclear weapons are being used actually for the destruction of humanity, right? But here Rishabhadev is giving the instruction to his son or the humanity constructively, right? Constructively is giving the instructions so that they can perfect their human life and all. So but the students who are just doing a research for the creating this nuclear weapons actually are doing a tapasya, but it's not in a right cells. Or even Prabhupada says it's a Ravana tapasya or Hiranyakashipu tapasya. So they are also doing a tapasya, but it is not for it is not for achieve the higher life. It's not for the for the achievement of the higher purpose of human life actually, but it is to for the destruction of humanity. So that kind of Ravana tapasya or Hiranyakashipu tapasya is not is not prescribed, or is not entertained actually. So that is what the Prabhupada gives the example of for that. So yeah, so yeah, then let's move further. So right kind of research should be done, right? So that is what then, yeah. uh, Yeah, tapasya or austerities should be performed voluntarily, right? So voluntarily, so that we can gain the higher purpose. So putraka is Rishabha. They is teaching his sons, or giving the instructions to his sons actually, right? Ela Sattvam, right? Ela Sattvam. Sattvam means when we do tapasya or austerities, so right, our heart is cleansed, right? Sattvam, our heart is cleansed, or we achieve, we become purified actually, purified. Heart Shuddhet is purified. So our heart is purified actually. So that is what. So when we do so when we try to restrict ourselves, and when we do tapasya, right? When we our we actually purify our heart, right? Is what Shuddhet means. We purify our heart, right? That is what. So when we do tapasya, or when we accept the temporary austerities or penances, our heart becomes purified, right? So well, our heart is become purified immediately, right? Immediately, from which actually we achieve the Brahma Sokyam. Brahma Sokyam. Brahma Sokyam is spiritual happiness, right? Brahma Sokyam is spiritual happiness. We achieve the spiritual happiness, which is actually alaltam, which is unending, right? Which is alaltam, which is unending actually. So that is what being mentioned here. So so we have to by performing the austerities, we have to, by performing austerities, we become purified, right? Be purified at the heart, and we will attain the happiness, the unlimited happiness, or that is what unlimited happiness, right? So existence is purified, right? Sattvam is existence. So our existence is purified. Shuddhet. Sattvam, our existence is purified by doing the penances. So we become, our heart become cleansed and become purified and all, right? So this is what. So Prabhupada actually gives the example of a diabetic patient actually. So if somebody is a diabetic, is prohibited from eating sugar, right? Is prohibited, he is prohibited from eating sugar and all. So prohibition is built for actually curing his disease. So we all are infected by the material disease, right? We are infected by this material disease. So we can only get cured by doing some austerities, penances and tapasya, right? So also Prabhupada also gives example of a child. Actually, he always wants to play, right? A child always wants to play. His father instructs him, or he tells him to to study, actually to study, but a child is always wants to play. But this child thinks that, oh, this is a austerity for me, right? This is a austerity or penance for me, actually, to not playing and all. But when he accepts, or when we perform activities according to instruction of his father, though it is a tapasya for him, right? Though is to not playing is a tapasya from him, right? And tapasya for him, he will achieve good result in his education and all. So such kind of tapasya should be accepted, right? So such kind of austerities should be accepted, right? So that is what. So 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 uh, so that's so we should always try to do the prescribed, what is being prescribed, even though it is troublesome, right? We have to do all the activities, even though it is a troublesome. So we have to do, we should be doing all the regulated, our life should be regulated, actually. So Krishna consciousness activities we should perform and regulate our life, actually. So that is what. So that will help us for the spiritual progress, right? So when we do tapasya, we'll attain happiness, right? Because that see, every human being or every living entity are in search of happiness, right? Everybody is in search of happiness. But when we do tapasya, we get a real happiness, and which is unlimited happiness, right? Anantam, which Brahma Sokyam Alaltam, that is mentioned here, right? So that is what. So when we so we have to utilize our life to purify our existence, right? The Shuddhet. We should purify our existence. We should purify a heart, so that we get unlimited happiness, alantam, right? So we should utilize. We should not sense gratify ourselves. There should not be any vagancy of sense gratification. We should accept only to extent what is being required for this material body, right? So we should not aggravate. We should not aggravate and try to self gratify. We should just accept what is reasonable, actually. what is reasonable to maintain this body and all. So we should not satisfy our senses, tongue, belly, or any other senses unreasonably, right? So just we should accept to extent of what is required to maintain the body. Tele taktvena bhujita. It is mentioned in the Isholashipad that tele taktvena bhujita. So we should just accept. So everything is everything, whatever the animate or eliminate, everything is owned and controlled by the Lord, right? So, but we should accept only our quota. See, accept our only quota. That accept only reasonably. That is what being mentioned by the Parpath, right? So reasonable here. We should not try to self gratify ourselves by accepting the meat, right? Meat and other things and all. So that is what just should just accept the food, grains, pulses, milk, fruits, and flowers, which are given, which are abundant and which are given by the Mother Earth, right? So that should be accepted. We are not in Saudi Arabia, where it is where there is no where trees or plants and there where there is no cultivation. Actually, we should just eat the foodstuffs which is given by the which is which is abundantly available, actually, which is coming out of the farm and all, right? So these are the various examples we can understand. And lastly, the Prapas gives the collection to this verse 4 point Bhagavad Gita verse 4.9, actually. Chalva karma che divyam evam Yoti evam veti tatvata tvakta deham pularjalma laiti mam iti so Arjuna. So here the Prabhupada is is collecting to these works, actually. So we should try to understand the appearances and activities of the Lord, right? He is not born like us. He do not have any karma, right? Though he takes the body, material body, but it's not our kind of body, right? So we should try to understand his birth and his activities, actually, right? So that we can perfect our life, right? So that is what Bill mentioned. So this verse, in this verse, what we can learn practically, right? Practical application is we should accept reasonably what is, we should not aggravate ourselves. So right, we should not aggravate ourselves, or we should control our senses and all, right? We should always try to we should try to the follow the we should do tapasya, right? Tapasya or austerities. So we should do tapasya or austerities, like we should do tapasya austerities during the ekadashis, right? Ekadashis and other days of Vaishnava calendar and all. So we should not try to satisfy ourselves, selves, or we should not satisfy our tongue and all, right? So Prabhupada also given the example of meat eating and smoking, right? Where which can be restrained just by accepting the food, grains, pulses, milks, fruits, and all. So tapasya should be done to purify ourselves, right? To purify our existence. When we do tapasya, our existence will be purified, and we then move to the higher platform, and we move to the transcendental platform, and we can get the higher happiness and all. So which is alantam, which is continuous and unending happiness, and that is what the purpose of the life and all. So yeah, and the Prabhupada also gives the example of his Guru Maharaj used to tell him that 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 there is everything there is everything everything is available. There is everything available plenty in plenty. There is nothing scarcity actually. Everything there is something scarcity only, scarcity of Krishna consciousness, right? But there is no scarcity of any other things and all, right? So that is what so there is no material, there is no material scarcity. So everything, so only everything is the only if there is anything scarcity is the scarcity of Krishna consciousness. That is what the Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says. The Prabhupada says that there is only scarcity of Krishna consciousness. There is no scarcity of the food or grains, pulses and all. So so people are not Krishna consciousness; they are just material consciousness actually. So they are just essential consciousness, right? So that is what Bill mentioned. So Rishabdev is trying to tell us through this verse actually to his selves and to us that that we should just we should not do kasta kamal actually. We should just we should do some we should try to work we should try to we should not do kasta kamal. We should try to smartly work and try to understand the higher purpose of the life actually. Purpose of the human life is just to is just to self-realize and go back to Godhead and all. So that is what we explain. So to do that, we have to do some sapasya or austerities. We have to purify ourselves. We have to purify our existence of this material body, so that our heart is purified. We become we enter into Suddha Sattva, and when we enter into Suddha Sattva, we acquire the qualities of all the good qualities of Krishna, right? Like Prabhupada says, there are 50 qualities. Human beings also has from the all the 64 qualities. Human beings has also 50 qualities of Lord, but in quantity they are very less actually. But quality wise, we have 50 qualities of the Krishna, where Krishna has all the 64 qualities. Lord Shiva has some 55 qualities, Brahma has some qualities and all. So when we purify ourselves, we attain the qualities of the Lord, and our life will be perfected, and we go back home Godhead, and we'll try to serve him there. So that is what be the instruction Bill given here in this verse actually. Okay, so that is the practical application and lessons. So there is one example which we can give, right? Is of Bharat Maharaj, right? Bharat Maharaj is son of Rishabhadev, right? In these 100 sons, 100 sons, Rishabhadev, 100 sons of Rishabhadev, Bharat Maharaj is also one of the son and is the eldest son. So Bharat Maharaj was 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 ruling this world actually, this Bharat Varsha. Everything was a Bharat Varsha. He was ruling this world for 10,000 10,000 years actually, 10,000 years. And after that he just renunciated everything or given away everything to his sons and all, right? He has given everything to his sons, and he went to the forest and done the austerity. But he was attached to a deer, right? He was attached to small deer, right? So here we can understand that Bharat Maharaj, who renunciated after ruling for 10,000 years, he renunciated everything, right? Everything, but he was attached to the deer. Huh? See, the person who was renunciated or who was detached for the kingdom, after so many years was attached to the deer, which caused him to take again which made him to take the deer body in the next life and all, right? So that kind of attachment, such kind of a renunciate person was attached last part of life to the deer and all. So he was every time he was thinking about about this deer while bathing, while walking, while eating, while everything for all, but he just forgot forgot the he just forgot the Krishna. He forgot about the Krishna, right? So he just remembered the deer at the end of his life. So that's why he has taken the deer body. So he was detached, right? He was detached with the kingdom, but he was attached to this deer. So from this we can understand that that there was there was some misdeed, or there was some misdeed, or some bad karma actually, some bad karma which has caused that actually. But there are two ways. Either we can voluntarily accept do penances or these austerities, or we are forcefully because of misdeed we become we have to do certain things and all, right? So here here though he was a nice devotee, right? He was a nice devotee, but he had some bad karma, or some misdeed, right? Some misdeed. So he became attracted to the deer, and he has to take the deer body and all. Although he has perfected his life in the next body, right? So again, this deer was done so much austerity. You could understand, though he got this deer body, he could understand what he has done in the previous life, right? Whatever by the grace of the Krishna, or by the grace of the Lord, he could, whatever he has done in the previous life, he could recollect. He could, even though he was in the deer body, and this deer leaving the green grass, right? Leaving the green grass, it went back to the old place, right? Old place where where old place where the austerities are performed by the all the rishibulis and all, and just hearing to the hymns or Vedic injections of the Rishibalis, this dead body could perfect, and you could get the human life again, Jada, right, in the next life and all. That way the Bharat Maharaj has perfected his life. So human life is rare. So we should understand that, and and the purpose of the human life is to do some tapasya, or which is known as the voluntarily austerities or penances we should perform. We should get purified, be purified ourselves. We should so that we attain the Shuddha Sattva, right? So goodness will not help us. We should attain Shuddha Sattva and acquire the qualities of the Krishna, and so that when we go back home, Godhead, we can nicely serve Him. So this is about this verse. This is what the examples are. This is what the I would like wanted to just share with you today. Uh, Please forgive me. Sorry. Uh, Please forgive me for all my uh, for any mistakes, or because of some limitations. Yeah, yeah. This is what I wanted to discuss about this verse. Please, if you have any questions, please you can, or if you have any comments, or if you want to add something, please go ahead. Or if you have any questions also, you can please. Thank you for the opportunity, Lilanand Prabhu, Pravil Prabhu, Subhara Prabhu. And, thank you all devotees. Please bless me so that I can do small service. Uh, though I am not qualified. I just spoken what based on the Prabhupada, but I'm not qualified. I wanted these qualities, just wanted to share with you. Okay. Yeah, please, you can add, comment, or you can ask any questions if you have. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you very much for giving this class today with Mangalarti and beautiful darshan of the deities that you have at home. Thank you very much for making us recite the slokas purport and explaining in detail. Prabhuji Mataji, please, you can ask questions to Prabhuji.
Okay, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you for the opportunity.
Today.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.